This is not one of my regular videos, but I think we need to talk about it. Today's video is a unique one. It's not something I really talk about, but I believe it's essential for people, especially immigrants, to know. If you're an African immigrant in the UK, US, Canada, Finland, anywhere, you already know life here is different. Back home, we had help, nannies, housemates, even extended families stepping in. But here, you are on your own. No cheap help, no one to cook or clean, and childcare. Don't even get me started. Hey there, welcome back to my channel. My name is Esther. I'm a nurse, a mom, and an immigrant. If you're watching my video for the first time, welcome to the community. This is a community where we learn, where we educate each other, talk about health, faith, family, and the likes. And please don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. Join this amazing family. And to my returning subscriber, you are the real MVP. Thank you for coming back. Thank you for cheering me up. Thank you for your constant support. I love you so much. Today, we are diving into one of the biggest struggles African families face abroad, whether you are in the UK, US, Canada, Finland, anywhere you are, which is the lack of house help and how it affects everything from our mental health to our family life and even our careers. Stay tuned because we are going all in, sharing real life cases, expert insights, and practical solutions. Let's be real. Back home, house help is normal. In Nigeria, Ghana, Kenya, it's common to have a living nanny, a maid, even a cook, and it's affordable. Abroad, it's definitely a different story. Nigeria, living nannies may be about £50 to £100, depending on how generous you are. And in the UK, full-time nanny, about £30,000 per year. Can you see the difference? Many African families come here and expect to continue the same lifestyle, only to realize, no, my dear, you have to do it all by yourself. Do it all yourself. Do it all yourself. Do it all yourself. Yes, you have to do it all by yourself. UK minimum wage applies to all workers. Live-in house help must have proper visas. Human trafficking charges can lead to prison. There are consequences for ignoring these laws, and this brings me to a recent high-profile case in the UK involving human trafficking. A Nigerian couple who brought an individual into the country under false pretenses to work as a domestic helper. When convicted of human trafficking, they thought they were simply bringing someone to help with the kids while they worked, but it resulted in serious legal consequences. It's heartbreaking, but this kind of actions are being closely scrutinized. We must be aware of the laws in our new home to avoid these kinds of situations. Even a well-intentioned act can lead to trouble. In the UK, every worker, including domestic help, is entitled to minimum wage, employment rights, and legal immigration status. If someone is brought in under false pretenses or forced to work unfairly, it falls under modern slavery laws, and the consequences are severe. And it's not just ordinary families who are affected. Recently, a Uganda UN lawyer was sentenced and stripped of all immunities after being involved in a human trafficking ring. The story highlights that even those in powerful positions aren't above the law. This case shows just how serious the issue of human trafficking is and how even people with high-ranking positions can fall victim to temptation and abuse their power. We need to be mindful of the consequences and how easily things can spiral out of control. Before I moved to the UK, I thought, oh, maybe I'll be able to just get a nanny to help with some things. But when I saw the prices, I knew I had entered do-it-yourself country. This is where the stress starts. African women, we are used to having help. When we come here and suddenly have to juggle everything, full-time work, kids, cooking, cleaning, it can be overwhelming and the mental stress is real. Guys, meet Amaka, a Nigerian mom of 3. She moved to the UK with her husband, thinking life would be easier. But with both of them working full-time, childcare costs through the roof and no help at home. Amaka found herself completely exhausted. Amaka's story is not unique. Many African women feel the same way, but they just don't talk about it because we are expected to just manage. But let's be honest, sometimes we need help, and in the UK, that help has to look different. One thing I have learned about living in the UK is that you have to adapt. There's a saying that when in Rome, behave like the Romans. What worked for us back home may not work here. You have to adapt to this UK life, understand the legal system, accepting childcare alternatives, and also learn to do things yourself. And lastly, prioritizing time management. Instead of trying to replicate our African way of life, we need to ask, what can we do differently? How can we make life easier without breaking laws or running into unnecessary stress? Let's talk about this wonderful lady, Nina, a Ghanaian woman living in the UK, felt the weight of motherhood and work on her shoulders with no family here, no affordable childcare, and no help around the house. Nina's mental health started to decline. She was constantly overwhelmed and eventually experienced burnout. Nina's story is just one of many immigrants struggling in silence. These struggles are not uncommon. Many immigrants don't have the luxury of a support system here, and it's hard to keep up with the demands of life when you are doing it all alone. As much as I sympathize with people in search of a better life, just like me, I also encourage us to do better. Some families struggle without help, but others have even lost their children to government because of the pressures of adjusting. The road to building a better life is challenging, but let's find ways to adjust responsibly. We cannot avoid the fact that living abroad means we have to adapt. Some families do without help and make it work. Others need support from their community and legal resources, but we must ensure we are doing it right so that we don't face unnecessary consequences like losing our kids or facing legal issues. Now, let's talk solutions. I don't know if you have heard about triage, the triage they use in the hospital system, right? If you have not, I will explain. They assess what is most urgent, what can wait. Well, it's time to bring that system home. The emergency triage system for household chores. So we have the red zone, which is feeding the kids, work obligations, and basic hygiene, bathing, cleaning, and common areas. The yellow zone, important but can wait a bit, like cooking elaborate meals, simple meal prep step. Deep cleaning can be done maybe weekly, not daily. Then the green zone, they are not urgent, they can be delegated, or they can even be skipped. Folding laundry immediately, let it wait. Spotless house, no, this is real life. This is not Instagram. This system helps you focus on what truly matters and stop stressing over perfection. Prioritize, delegate, and don't feel guilty for not doing it all. Let's talk about ways to manage without house help as an immigrant. I get this question a lot. 1. Leverage community support. Find your tribe, churches, mosques, cultural groups. They often have networks where parents help each other out. 2. Split responsibilities at home. Husbands, please, our daddy, it's not just the woman's job to do everything. Divide tasks. And also, let's teach our kids to help. If you have children that are a little bit grown up, teach your kid also to help. 3. Use technology to save time. Apps like Tesco, grocery delivery, meal planners, and smart cleaning gadgets can definitely make our life easier. 4. Explore affordable childcare options. Check online, look into government childcare schemes. There are options to reduce costs. Just make sure they align with your visa status. 5th, adjust expectations. Accept that life here is different. Focus on adapting instead of trying to replicate what you had back home. This is not Nigeria, this is not Ghana, this is not Kenya. Let's try and adjust and adapt to our new environment, our new home. Bonus points, guys. Prioritize yourself and don't put yourself under unnecessary pressure. I've seen too many people burn out, working non-stop, never resting, and missing out on their children's lives, all for a house they may not even live in. Prioritize wisely. Your family here needs you just as much as your family back home does. Don't put yourself under unnecessary pressure. Don't compare yourself. Don't kill yourself for a house in the village. You are not weak for choosing rest. Yes, you are not weak for choosing rest. You are wise. Yes, because your children need a whole happy parent, not a burnt out shadow trying to prove a point. So, fellow immigrants, this life is not easy. Like we say, life is not balanced. But we can make it work. The reality is we may never have the kind of house help we had back home, but by planning ahead, sharing responsibilities, and using available resources, we can reduce the stress. I want to hear from you. What has been your biggest challenge adjusting to life abroad, whether you're in the UK, US, Canada, Finland, anywhere? Drop a comment below and let's talk. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you in my next video. Thank you. Bye. Yep. Go and pick. The lack of practical solutions. Go and pick. If you're an African immigrant, if you're an